Right, so hello and welcome back to Books and Things, and welcome to another video. And today, when you are seeing this video, it will be publication day of my new novel, The Trouble with Mrs Montgomery Hurst, which I am very, very excited to say is now out in the world. So I am recording this a few days before publication, but I'm about to go back in time to well over a year ago to show you some clips that I have been putting together over the course of the last year and a bit, working towards publication of this book. I did this for my first novel, The Secrets of Hartwood Hall, last year. I'll leave that video down below too, but I found it really fun to gather together lots of clips from over the journey to publication and kind of put it together into one big video. So I thought I'd do the same again this year, and that's what you're about to see. So it's goodbye from present me for now, and we'll go back to a younger version of myself, and you're going to be following me over a year and a bit in the run-up to publication. So I hope you enjoy this video, and that's all for now. Right, so hello. Today is the 6th of April 2023, and The Secrets of Hartwood Hall, my debut novel, came out last week, which was, you know, pretty exciting, slightly mad, but really, really fun. And so it made me think about my next book, which I have been working on for a little while, and about the fact that I really liked having a journey to publication vlog to put up on publication day of The Secrets of Hartwood Hall, and I won't necessarily have, or I haven't started yet, a similar thing for my next book. But I thought it might be nice to start a bit of a journey to publication vlog for the next book. Obviously I'm starting slightly later on in the process than I did for The Secrets of Hartwood Hall, and it's a bit different when it is your second book. The publication process works slightly differently, I suppose, but I thought it might be nice to talk a little bit about where I am now and kind of what's happening, and then at some point I will hopefully have other interesting clips to add in. So I have already finished a first draft of my second book, and I've already handed it in to my publishers. I'm waiting for edits at the moment. Then I will crack on and do edits and rewrite it, and everything will kind of kick off properly pretty soon. But right now I have finished the first draft and I'm waiting for edits. Basically, when my UK publishers took on The Secrets of Hartwood Hall, they gave me a 2-book deal, so I am tied in with them for this next book, which I just handed in to them. I'm calling it my first draft because in a way it is, but in a way it isn't, because the second book, my book 2, is a book project that I have been working on for a really, really, really long time. It is a much older idea than The Secrets of Hartwood Hall. It's a much older project than The Secrets of Hartwood Hall. I actually started work on something that has turned into this book in 2016, so it's been a long time. And basically I started writing this short story that then became a novella, that then became a novel, that I then rewrote lots of times, that I then put away for a long time, that I then came back to, and now my publishers like the idea, so it is going to be my second book, all being well. And I'm just very excited about that because I love this book hugely. I'm much more attached to it than The Secrets of Hartwood Hall. Over the last year, I dug out my very old draft of this book and rewrote it completely, more or less from scratch. Some of the dialogue is maybe the same, but I changed it a lot. I gutted the middle, I completely reworked it, and I cut a lot of characters. There's still a lot of characters. We'll see if my editors want me to cut any more characters. I've also been doing lots of extra historical research. I went to the British Library and read lots of diaries. I went to Hook Norton Brewery, which is a working brewery which has been around since the late 19th, early 20th century and still uses a lot of Victorian brewing techniques. I went there to learn about brewing because there is a character in this book who runs a brewery, and I wanted to understand breweries, and that was just wonderful, such fun to have a research and day trip. That was really cool. And yeah, my agent has read it. She really likes it. I know that the beginning right now needs a ton of work because I just have so many characters in this book and it's very hard to find the right way to introduce them all. But yeah, I'm waiting for notes back from my editor at the moment, and then I'm just excited to carry on with it. And I will, check in again at some point along the process and tell you more about how this book is going. Hello, it is the 1st of June 2023, and I thought I would film another little clip for this vlog because I think I've only done 1 or 2 so far. So I have for the last few weeks been working on my structural edits for the new book, which is very exciting, but has been quite busy. I've had lots to do. I have been messing around with the structure and character arcs and fixing things, and because it's a very fiddly book with a lot of characters and a lot of subplots. Every time you change like one thing, you have to change like 40 other things, and it's a bit fiddly, but it has been fun. But I thought I would turn my camera on today and like vlog a little bit, slash keep the camera on over my shoulder while I do a bit more work. I've been through the book like a couple of times now, changing things, and I've made a lot of the big changes, but I have like some more small changes that I need to make, or like characters I need to like edit specifically for. So I've got like a list of characters and a list of things to change. With The Secrets of Hartwood Hall, it was a more like simple structure and simple story about like one person and the people they met. So for The Secrets of Hartwood Hall, like I feel like there was only like one or two ways I could have written that book, it still being the book I wanted it to be. Whereas I feel like this new book, I feel like because there are so many characters and so many subplots, I feel like there's like 30 different ways I can write the book and it still tell the story I want to tell. So it's just kind of like picking one. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, I will get back to my editing and I will leave the camera on for a bit. It is September 2023 and I feel like I haven't made a clip for this video for ages and ages. I don't actually remember when the last time I made a clip for this video was, but I'm quite far through now with the edits and so on for The Trouble with Mrs Montgomery Hurst, which is my next book. Which is now scheduled to come out in July next year, which is very exciting. So we've done like a few rounds of structural changes. I've had my sensitivity read back, and now I am just doing my final read through before the book goes off to copy edit. I wanted to have one last read and kind of check for small word things and any little cuts, because the book is quite long. And I think it needs to be quite long because it has a lot of characters. It's not that long, it's 120,000 words, so it's, you know, it's not like Victorian length. So I'm just having a final read through and then it's hopefully going to go off to copy edit very soon, so I thought I would tell you about that. When I do a final read through of a book, I read it all out loud and I don't actually know how that's going to transfer onto video because I usually speed these things up, and maybe you'll just see my mouth moving madly, but I usually find it really helps to read the whole book aloud because then I get a sense of like any phrasing that isn't working and like whether the dialogue sounds natural and that kind of thing. I'll also show you my screen because I have a few different things up. So here in the biggest window on my screen I have the novel itself, and I have two things here. So here I have the character list, the dramatis personae, which I don't really need as like a tool for writing or anything at this stage, but I'm like checking as I go through the book that everything is correct, especially the characters' ages. And then I also have here my scene list and timeline. Just to show you the very beginning, which hopefully has no spoilers, we have like the scene number, because there's a lot of scenes within chapters as well. Then we have the chapter, and then we have like what happens in the chapter or in the scene, the date that it takes place on, and the character's POV that it is. And as you can see, it's like colour-coded by character POV, which I have so much fun with. I've been trying to update this as I do my final read and check that the timeline is correct, so that if the copy editor has any timeline queries, they'll have the timeline that I think is in the book. So hopefully that'll work. If you had only been here a few weeks sooner, you would have had the pleasure of seeing her, said Mrs Elton as Mrs Hurst passed her a cup of tea. Our neighbours, the Earl and Countess, Lord and Lady Whitford, you know. You will have heard your husband speak of them. Tell the charming ball at Whitford Towers. You must throw a ball yourself, you know, for the ballroom at Radcliffe Park is delightful. But I know no one, said Mrs Hurst softly. And yet, my dear, everybody knows you. So it is now getting towards the end of October, and I feel like I haven't filmed a clip for this like journey to publication vlog for ages, so I thought I would film one today. So The Trouble with Mrs Montgomery Hurst has gone off to copy edit. It's come back from copy edit, so I've just been working through the copy edits over the last couple of weeks. Meanwhile, I also have a cover, so that's very exciting. I mean, hopefully by the time this video goes up, you will have seen the cover many times, but I'll put it on the screen here. I really love the cover massively. Like, I really enjoy it. I just really enjoy like all the little figures at the bottom, and I like the little birds and the flowers and like the general look of it. I just really love. So I'm very excited about the cover. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to update you on in terms of how things are going. It's looking like relatively unlikely that I will get a US deal for this book anytime soon, which is fine. It's a bit sad, but like I'm very excited that it's coming out in the UK, and my UK publishers are really excited about it. I think it's just one of those things where the US market is slightly different from the UK market. The Secrets of Hartwood Hall fitted into one box quite neatly, whereas The Trouble with Mrs Montgomery Hurst maybe does that less. And doesn't have those mystery elements. So, you know, I've kind of like made my peace with it for now, and we will see what happens. So I thought I would film a little clip for this vlog today, partly because, you know, I have lots of updates on what's been going on, but also because I'm about to do something which is like maybe quite fun visually for this vlog, which is I'm about to redraw my map of Wickenshire. So you probably haven't read The Trouble with Mrs Montgomery Hurst yet when you're watching this video, but The Trouble with Mrs Montgomery Hurst is set in a fictional county called Wickenshire. And I drew for myself while working on the book a map of the bit of Wickenshire in which the book is set, with all the like towns and big country houses and villages and churches and roads and rivers and all of that stuff. And I sent this map to the copy editor so that she could use it to check that like everything lines up geographically, I suppose. And of course there were a few problems where things didn't quite line up geographically. So I'm gonna redraw the map today, like in full, and make sure everything's fine, and go through all the problems from the copy editor. And I thought that might be quite a fun thing to put my camera on so you can see what I do. I am no illustrator, I am no cartographer. Even my handwriting is like terribly messy, and my drawing ability is quite bad. So this is very much me drawing a map as a writing tool and a editing tool, rather than me drawing a map as someone who is in any way good at drawing anything. But I still thought it might be fun to show you. Right, so hello, it is now December 2023. Today, in exciting news, I have the page proofs for The Trouble with Mrs Montgomery Hurst. So everything has been typeset into a book, and it's a long book. I mean, this isn't double-sided, but like, it's a long book. And yeah, I'm just pretty excited to reread The Trouble with Mrs Montgomery Hurst and pick up any final things I want to correct or change. Hopefully there won't be too much. So I thought I would film a little clip and show you some of me correcting my page proofs, so that you can see kind of what I do. As well as being an author, I am also like by trade a professional proofreader, so I will also like check all the things that a professional proofreader would check that the author doesn't usually need to check, like all the formatting and word breaks and stuff like that. And I will probably have more like corrections than other author would do, because some of the corrections will be like me as an author wanting to change a word, and some of them will be like me as a proofreader spotting a mistake. But you know, hopefully my publishers don't mind that, and I'll pick up on the same things the proofreaders do. And yeah, I'm looking forward to rereading The Trouble with Mrs Montgomery Hurst and making a few last changes, and I will take you along with me. Throughout the noble county of Wickenshire, there were many households in which order reigned. There were families who dressed neatly and quickly, who were ready to depart in good time for any social occasion. There were homes where the corridors were free from clutter, where quiet prevailed, where the occupants were capable of assuming their best finery without descending into utter chaos. The Ashbrook household was not one of these. Hello again, it's now the end of January 2024 and I wanted to film another little clip for this Journey to Publication vlog because I have a couple of days ago received the map of Wickenshire, which has been properly illustrated and looks so much better than my initial hand drawing, which was quite bad. So it's been designed up properly by an illustrator in all its glory. I'll put it on the screen now so you can see it. This will be at the front of the book and it just looks so utterly beautiful. I'm so delighted with it. I just think it looks so amazing and it's so lovely to have a map. So maps are like really special to me. When I was a kid, me and my brother used to draw maps of other worlds. Like that was one of our favourite creative activities. Like we would sellotape together like 8 to 10 sheets of A3 paper in order to draw massive maps that we would like take up the whole kitchen table, and probably even more than the kitchen table. I think we had to move them when we were working on different parts because they were bigger than the table. Like we used to make these massive maps which we would blue tack to the walls, and the maps were like maps of worlds that we played games in, I suppose. And because of all the maps we used to draw together, maps have like a really special hold in my heart and like a really special place, and especially like maps of fictional worlds that I've made up. Like it's really fun to think of, I don't know, my childhood self drawing out all those maps that I made with my brother of these other worlds, and now I wrote a book that will have a map in the front, and that's just like really delightful. So it's very special to me and it looks amazing and beautiful and I'm very pleased with it. I feel like this is a real highlight of writing life, is this gorgeous map of Wickenshire. Hello. So just a quick clip today. It's now March 2024 and last week we did a cover reveal for Montgomery Hurst, which was really exciting. I'm so pleased with how much people loved the cover and everything people were saying about the cover and how much they enjoyed it, and how it made them think of like Penguin Classic cloth bound stuff. Like that just made me really happy, and people really enjoyed the map as well, and I just had a lot of fun doing the cover reveal and seeing people excited about the book on social media. I also revamped my website with like Montgomery Hurst colours and branding, which made me very happy, and I finally got around to sorting out and starting a Substack newsletter, which I've been meaning to do for ages, so that's very nice. And yeah, I'm just really pleased that people are excited for The Trouble with Mrs Montgomery Hurst, and that people are kind of more excited about it after the cover reveal. Like I'm really proud of the book and I love the cover so much. It suits the book so well, and I'm just really excited that, yeah, it's not all that long now to go until it comes out. So the bound proof should be in very soon. That'll probably be the next clip you see in this video. I'm really excited for them to come in. That'll be really cool. And yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say for today, but I'll check in again soon. So something very exciting has just arrived in the post. Here we have, I believe, my proof copies of The Trouble with Mrs Montgomery Hurst, which I'm very excited about. Also, as I think I have mentioned before, the book is quite long and I'm slightly concerned about how chunky it's gonna be, but you know, we'll see. Let's open the parcel. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's quite thick. Look at that chunky spine. Look at it. What a big book. It's not that big, but it feels quite big. Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm very excited. Look at it. Isn't it lovely? And then here we have the back. I'm very proud of this shoutline. A single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. But why would he choose her? I won't lie, I came up with this shoutline and it is my best work. Whether the novel will live up to the shoutline, I do not know, but I'm very proud of that line.
Hello, hello. It is now the beginning of April. It's a very wet, rainy day out there, and I'm about to head off to do some proof drops. So, me and my publicist are going to a few different bookshops in London, and then we're heading off to Winchester, and we're going to be handing out proofs of The Trouble with Mrs Montgomery Hurst, which will be really, really fun. I'm very excited, and I will take you with me and do a bit of vlogging as I go. Good morning. It is now the end of May, and this morning I'm off to the offices of my publishers, Penguin Michael Joseph, to listen to the audiobook being recorded of The Trouble with Mrs Montgomery Hurst, which I am very, very excited for. The audiobook is being narrated by Olivia Vinnell, who narrated The Secrets of Hartwood Hall, and who I thought was fantastic. I was so pleased that she could do this one too, because I think she's amazing, and I'm just very, very excited to go and listen to it, and to listen to her bring The Trouble with Mrs Montgomery Hurst to life. So yeah, I will try and take some clips today, and I'll check in again soon. Hello again. I realised I forgot to film a clip after I came back from listening to the audio recording the other day, so I thought I would film one now. But I just had a wonderful time listening to the audiobook. It was so fun. I arrived in time for a chapter near the end of volume 1 that is one of my favourite chapters, chapter 16, entitled In Which Miss Ashpoint Makes a New Friend and Lord Solbridge Makes Trouble. I just really, really enjoyed listening to that chapter. It was one of my favourite chapters to write, and it was also one of the chapters where certain bits of the dialogue and the scene had like stayed the same since very near the beginning of The Trouble with Mrs Montgomery Hurst, which isn't the case for quite a lot of the book because it took me a really long time to write and I rewrote it and changed things a lot. So that was a really lovely chapter to turn up to here, and I just really, really enjoyed listening to it and listening to Olivia Vinnell's voices. Like, I just think she's such a great, wonderful narrator of audiobooks, and I'm so pleased that she's doing it again. So I will be listening to the audiobook of The Trouble with Mrs Montgomery Hurst in publication week. That's what I did for Hartwood Hall last year, and it was really lovely and really made me like feel excited and pleased and like fall in love with the book again, because I feel like it's very easy once a book goes to press to be like, oh no, what if it's terrible. So I think it'll be really lovely to listen to it on audiobook like in publication week, and just feel excited about it. So I'm excited for that. We're at the very end of May now, so there's only like I think like 7 weeks to go until the book comes out, so that's feeling quite soon now, which is exciting. And yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say for today.
Welcome back to the What the Austen podcast. Today I'm joined by author and booktuber Katie Lumsden. Katie has a new book coming out on the 18th of July called The Trouble with Mrs Montgomery Hurst. I've already had the pleasure of reading this book. It was very good. So I thought we'd have Katie on to discuss it. So welcome, Katie.
Hi, very nice to be here.
Although we follow kind of Amelia, a lot of the time, there isn't really a central character. We follow the town as a whole, right? Which I really enjoyed.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed writing that because I do love a small town story. And I think I read a lot of 19th century literature, and a lot of 19th century literature, especially kind of later on in the 19th century and the Victorian period, are these kind of big cast novels with a lot of characters, a lot of plot lines. You're following lots of different people and you get a sense of community through those people, and also how their storylines interact and how these people's individual stories have an impact on other people's stories. And that's kind of what I wanted to recreate in this book, I guess.
All right, so without further ado, here is this week's mystery guest. Well, today's mystery guest is not only a novelist, but also booktube royalty. This is Katie of Books and Things, joining us from London. Hello, Katie.
Hello, very nice to be here.
Hello again. I feel like I haven't filmed a clip for this for ages, but publication is coming up very soon now. There is 1 week left to go until Montgomery Hurst comes out, and something fun has just arrived in the post that I thought I would show you. So basically, I'm doing a book launch next week when the book comes out, and I was trying to think of something that I thought would be a fun way to get people talking to each other. Basically, I went to my friend Anne Corlett's book launch a few weeks ago. She's an amazing writer, and her new novel, The Theatre of Glass and Shadows, came out recently, and it's incredible. And her launch party was really, really fun, partly because it had an interactive theatre element, which was very awesome and beyond anything I'm likely to do at my book launch. But she also had this thing where everyone got a key when they came into the book launch, and you had to find someone who had the same key as you. And I thought it was just a really nice way of getting people talking to people they didn't know. So I was like, what could I do at my neo-19th century novels book launch? What could I do that would get people talking to each other? And I decided that I would give everyone dance cards like they're at a ball. So the dance cards have arrived and they look so cute. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this. So here we have a little dance card inviting you to the annual Melford Summer Ball on the 17th of July, 1841. But obviously the book launch is on the 17th of July, 2024, in Melford Town Hall in Buckinghamshire, and like details about what I want people to do on the back, and then in the middle we've got like an order of dances and a place to put your engagements. So this is the kind of thing that you would have had at a 19th century ball. If you were going to a ball at an assembly room or in a town hall, you would have a card, and you would have a list of dances, and you would write down who you're going to dance with for each dance. As a young lady, you would write down the names of the gentleman who had requested your dances. And then people could kind of like book you in advance for a dance and you would know who you were dancing with for what dances. So I thought this would be a fun thing to have at my book launch. Obviously there will be no dancing. I'm not going to make everyone dance. But basically the idea is to get people talking to each other, and then like people can write down the names of the people they talk to who they haven't met before. And then the first 5 people to fill out their dance card in full will get a prize. And I have ordered some Montgomery Hurst personalised fans because I thought that would be fun in 19th century. Personally, I think this is excellent fun. I think they look so cute. And it's a fun souvenir for people to take away from the book launch, you know, instead of a bookmark or something, you can get a dance card. I thought I would show you them because I think that's a fun little extra book related thing. Publication feels really soon now, and I guess it is really soon. It's a week away. So yeah, it feels like everything's coming together. I've been doing some podcasts and that kind of thing. I've got my book launch next week, and I'm actually going to be doing quite a few events at libraries later in the year, which I think will be really nice. And yeah, lots going on. The book is nearly out. It looks beautiful. And yeah, I'm just very excited that it'll be really soon, and I'm really looking forward to my book launch. I think it'll be really fun. I will probably only check in once more. I think I'm going to do a separate vlog for like publication week and my book launch and stuff. So maybe I will just round this vlog up like early next week and post this on publication day. And yeah, all very exciting.
So the fans arrived, and I think they look very cool.
So hello again, it is now publication week and I am wrapping up this video, so I hope you've enjoyed coming along with me on my journey to publication for The Trouble with Mrs Montgomery Hurst. It's very exciting that it's now out in the world. That's all for now. Let me know down in the comments if you have any thoughts, or also if you have any questions about kind of the publication journey or anything like that. I am going to be doing a Q&A, a kind of general 9 years on BookTube Q&A in the next few weeks, so I could add any questions to that. Otherwise, that's all for now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back very soon with another bookish video.